Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tar Takes Raider Edition. We are here to talk the Raiders draft. And if you look around the internet, there's a lot of stuff written about the Oakland Raiders so far. Of course, there is. It's the NFL draft. It's a huge weekend, but a lot of it has been negative. Sports Illustrated gave the Oakland Raiders a grade of C+, and like many other people, they went right to Kolton Miller as the biggest negative so far. Many people saying, well, you shouldn't have taken Kolton Miller that high. There was also a Washington Post article. They gave the Raiders a grade of a C-, which was tied for the worst grade in all of the AFC. So it's sort of hard for me to believe that the Raiders are getting such low grades, and I'm not here to say that Jon Gruden and company should have gotten an A grade or an A-, but I think around the B+ range would be pretty solid. If you go down the list and look what they got, in the first round, they got Kolton Miller, offensive tackle from UCLA. Maybe he shouldn't have been picked at number 15, but you already traded down once. They supposedly would have liked him enough to take him at number 10, but they traded down. They got an extra third-round pick. That third-round pick then turned into Martavis Bryant. So that's good there, right? But let's focus on Kolton Miller. I think after the Denver Broncos drafted Chubb early, because now you have Chubb and you have Von Miller when you're playing Denver. You're going to need to be able to protect. So there was obviously a need. There was already a need at right tackle, and when Denver went with Chubb, it's a terrifying duo for the Oakland Raiders, for Derek Carr to see. They need to make sure the tackle positions are strong. And Donald Penn, 35 years old, coming off of foot surgery. He's also due about, I think, $10 million. He's due a lot of money. Whatever it is, it's around $10 million. Donald Penn might not be good enough this year, and he's not going to be here for the long term. So at some point you needed a left tackle to take over, and you still needed a right tackle for right now. Kolton Miller, hopefully at the worst, can be a right tackle. Hopefully Donald Penn comes back and be that starting caliber left tackle for next season like he's been the past few years. Kolton Miller learns, plays the right side, and then can take over. So the pick is completely understandable. You need to make sure the two tackle positions are there. So I don't think the pick's a bad pick. I don't think it's a great pick just because of the value, but the need completely makes sense. You need to have good tackles. Derek Carr has also shown that he needs to have a good offensive line. He struggles under pressure. You need to protect Derek Carr. You saw last year with the broken back, he was a little bit off. He was quick to get rid of the ball. If you give him a good offensive line, then he's going to be closer to that 2016 Derek Carr, the MVP caliber Derek Carr that we've seen. So I think that pick makes complete sense. It makes complete sense. Maybe it's a little bit of a reach, but are you really going to trade down again in the first round? I mean, if the offers were there, I'm sure the Raiders would have done it. But you just don't know what they were getting because they didn't get a great offer from Arizona. So are they really going to get much better offers at 15? I don't know. Tough to say. But with that trade is they brought in Martavis Bryant. I'm sort of 50-50 on this. I don't think it's a positive. I don't really see it as a negative either. I mean, Martavis Bryant, incredible talent. He's going to add another deep threat to this team. He's just going to add a lot more talent to the wide receiver core that Derek Carr will be able to exploit. The one issue, though, is there's a lot of controversy surrounded Martavis Bryant. Suspensions, whatever. He wasn't the best teammate on Pittsburgh. He wanted out. He's also only has 1 year left on his contract. So there's a small chance that he comes to Oakland, has an incredible year, and then leaves. And then you lost a third-round pick for nothing. So it was a great trade for Pittsburgh, a little bit more risky for Jon Gruden and the Raiders, but I think it's 50-50. There's high upside, and that's a theme that we'll definitely see today. Very high upside for Martavis Bryant, but there's also a chance that he doesn't pan out, he gets in trouble, or he just leaves after a big year. But if he leaves after a big year and it sucks that you lost him, well, that means at least you got a good year out of him. But still, so I'm a little 50-50 there. But what I think makes this draft is the later round selections. Brandon Parker, offensive tackle, makes sense, right? You need to just add as much depth as possible to the tackle position, especially when you look around. I mean, what are the pass rushers in this division, right? We just talked about Denver. We know what the Chargers have, right? Joey Bosa, Ingram. I mean, it's a lot of great players. Sorry, not Ingram. Melvin Ingram. My bad. Got that right. But, I mean, the Chargers and Denver have ferocious pass rushes. You need 2 good tackles. It doesn't do any good to just have 1 good left tackle. You need a good right tackle as well. So, completely makes sense. I think people are just overlooking that. You can't be blind to need when you're in the draft. You need to play towards need. Obviously, you want to take the best player available, but you still need to fill your needs. And Jon Gruden definitely did a good job of that. But the picks that you really like are round 4, Nick Nelson, cornerback, a little bit small, coming off a meniscus injury, so a little bit worrisome there. He might be someone who might not get a lot of playing time until the end of the season. He's probably going to miss a lot of the off-season workouts and might not be ready to go until training camp. So he's going to be a little bit behind, so he probably won't be there earlier in the season getting a lot of snaps, but he will be hopefully later in the year. According to Pro Football Focus, number 9th ranked cornerback at the position. You found him in the 4th round. It's also a need. It's also on the defense, so that's a good pick, right? It's hard to argue against it. I just skipped this, but the pick before, Arden Key, defense end, LSU. We said before the draft they need to add pass rushers. Khalil Mack has not had a sidekick, right? You had Bruce Irvin. You had Mario Edwards Jr., but they're good, but they're not good enough. Arden Key, if everything hits right, he could be that guy. And if you find the true number 2 in the 3rd round, that's a huge steal for the Oakland Raiders. Absolutely huge steal. There's articles, you can look him up. I think going into his junior year, he was one of the top rated prospects out of any position heading into the draft. So the talent, the potential is there, and that's the theme we'll see with these Jon Gruden picks. High risk, high reward, but if you just hit on 2 of these guys, then it's going to be a really good draft. And so this also brings us to Maurice Hurst, 5th round selection, 140th overall. Oakland traded up with Indianapolis to select him. He's a guy who's a 1st round talent. According to Pro Football Focus, was the 3rd rated prospect in this year's draft. Oakland got him at 140. This guy's an interior presence, should provide an interior push for the pass rush. That's also something Oakland needed. They needed another sidekick to pair with Khalil Mack, and they needed something up the middle. I mean, how do you beat the top quarterbacks in the NFL? You need an interior push. That's what beats Brady. Oakland hasn't had that in a while, and now they have Maurice Hurst, who can really rush the passer in the middle. They still have Justin Jellybean Ellis, who can stop the run. So you got a nice duo there. Hopefully Maurice Hurst's heart checks out, because if it does, easily the steal of the draft. Should be the steal of the draft. You got him in the 5th round. That's probably the best player you drafted. You got him in the 5th round. Not sure if that's good or not, but that's still exciting nonetheless. So it's a need, and it's extremely high value. I mean, you can't get higher value than that in the 5th round. So excellent pick there. Later in the 5th, Johnny Townsend, punter. Oakland needed a punter. It sort of sucks to see you take a punter in the 5th round when there are other talented players there, but it makes sense, right? It's not a stupid pick. There's reason behind it, and it makes sense. So solid pick there. If he's starting for the Oakland Raiders day 1, then that's a good pick. Then you go later on, Azeem Victor, inside linebacker. Oakland did not address the inside linebacker position this offseason. Still Navarro Bowman, still a free agent. They signed Tahir Whitehead. Hopefully he can fill in, but there's still a need there. You would have loved to see Raquan Smith, but, he got taken early. Still a good pick. Another high-risk, high-reward type guy. But if you can just hit on a few of these guys, right? Like if you hit on Key, Nelson, Hurst, Victor, if you hit on 2 of the 4 guys, all their potentials are sky high. So you hit on 2 out of 4, it's going to be a great draft. And, personally, I'm a guy who always likes to see the Raiders I wish that they took more of these high-risk, high-reward guys, like Vontaze Burfict years ago. I wish people took him. There's Tyreek Hill. There's a lot of guys. You can go down the list, find these guys that make it big, and when you hit on a 5th or 6th, 7th round pick, when you hit on a late pick, and they are a Pro Bowl player, it's huge because you don't have to pay them much money, and it's just like adding a free Pro Bowler to your team. It's not a high pick where you expect them to be that, and you're not paying them a lot of money, and that's how you win. That's how Super Bowl teams are built. Is you gotta hit on value picks, and it's like if it doesn't work out, well, it's a 6th round pick, it's a 5th round pick. Not the end of the world. It's not like missing on a 1st, 2nd, or 3rd. It's not the end of the world, and there's high upside. Before, you never really saw Reggie McKenzie make those moves for high risk, high reward late. I'm a guy who would be all over those picks, right? You gotta draft, take some risks. Not all the time, but every once in a while. Obviously, Gruden might have gone a little bit too heavy on the risk reward this draft, but you gotta say he's going for it, and you gotta like that. I think that's gonna set a good atmosphere in this team. So moving down the list, Marcell Ateman, wide receiver from Oklahoma State, big guy. The Raiders haven't really had a huge red zone target. There's hoping they could get it out of the tight end position, but Clive Walford hasn't really been that great. Jared Cook, a little inconsistent. Crabtree, he was decent in the red zone. Cooper, non-existent a lot of times. Seth Roberts dropped the ball a lot. Seth Roberts will probably be gone, knowing we just drafted Ateman, traded for Martavis Bryant, traded for Ryan Switzer, and again, technically this Ryan Switzer deal doesn't count towards the draft, but another incredible move. Yeah, Jihad Ward didn't work out. Probably wasn't going to make the team, but look at this. You got a great special teams player in Ryan Switzer. He'll be a great punt returner, something that Oakland's really struggled to find pretty much since, Jacoby Ford. I mean, has there been a really great kick returner in there? Cordell Patterson was pretty solid last year, but he didn't return any to the house. So pretty much since Jacoby Ford, there's been a hole there. Switzer can help in the return game. He can also help in the slot. So you pretty much traded a guy that was useless. He wasn't going to make the team, and you got an asset out of it. So incredible job there. It doesn't technically count for the draft, but it's a good move. It was on draft day, so I count it towards the draft. It's a draft move to me. I think you sort of incorporate it. Same with the Martavis Bryant deal. Martavis Bryant, high upside. Again, that's the theme. Back to Kolton Miller. Let these guys. I just trust these guys whose job it is to make these picks. They're in these positions for a reason with Reggie McKenzie, with Jon Gruden. You can still grade it, critique it, but they know what they're doing. It's a need, so I give an incomplete on the Kolton Miller pick right now. Obviously, all these are technically incomplete, but just hold up and wait. Hold up and wait. Gruden's been sitting there for a while. He knows what he's doing.